You find themselves drawn into them as a form of validation or entertainment. Stoicism challenges us to rise above this behavior by focusing on self-discipline, inner peace, and the value of personal integrity. Engaging in gossip or rumor spreading might seem harmless at first, but it gradually erodes trust and undermines relationships, creating divisions and fostering negativity. Stoic teachings emphasize the importance of steering clear of such distractions, choosing instead to cultivate kindness and understanding in our interactions. When tempted by gossip, pause and consider its impact, not only on the subject of the conversation, but on your own moral character. Each word you choose to speak has the power to heal or harm, to unify or divide. Choosing silence over harmful speech demonstrates strength and self-control, hallmarks of the Stoic mindset. This restraint doesn't equate to ignoring injustices. Rather, it reflects a focus on addressing issues constructively without resorting to demeaning others or sowing discord. Fostering an environment of positivity and respect requires intentional effort. It means redirecting conversations that veer into harmful territory and setting an example of integrity for those around you. By focusing on meaningful dialogue and avoiding idle chatter, you contribute to a culture of trust and mutual respect, where relationships flourish and conflicts are resolved with wisdom and care. At the heart of Stoicism lies the understanding that our words shape our reality and influence those around us. By choosing speech that uplifts, educates, or encourages, we not only align ourselves with Stoic values, but also create a ripple effect of goodness in our communities. This practice is not about suppressing emotion or avoiding difficult topics. It's about channeling our words toward constructive and purposeful ends, making each conversation an opportunity for growth and connection. Releasing the need for control over external events is another liberating aspect of Stoic philosophy. Many of life's frustrations stem from our futile attempts to control people, outcomes, or circumstances that lie beyond our reach. This desire for control not only causes stress, but also blinds us to the opportunities and beauty in the present moment. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, and what we cannot, such as the opinions, actions, and outcomes shaped by others or external forces. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Accepting this truth allows us to let go of the mental burden of trying to change the unchangeable. It frees us to focus our energy on cultivating resilience, self-awareness, and personal growth, enabling us to navigate life's uncertainties with grace and clarity. Practicing detachment from outcomes is not an act of apathy, but a demonstration of profound courage and trust in the flow of life. It involves committing fully to your efforts while releasing attachment to how things unfold. This balance of effort and surrender leads to a more peaceful and fulfilled existence, where disappointments are tempered by the knowledge that you've done your best and that external results do not define your worth. Stoic wisdom also encourages us to cultivate gratitude for what we have and to find joy in the present. By shifting our focus away from what we lack or cannot control, we open our hearts to the abundance already within and around us. Gratitude transforms challenges into opportunities for learning and growth, turning even the smallest moments into sources of contentment and fulfillment. In embracing these principles, we learn to navigate life with a sense of purpose and equanimity, undeterred by its inevitable ups and downs. By letting go of gossip, unrealistic expectations, and the need for control, we align ourselves with the core tenets of Stoicism, creating a life of authenticity, integrity, and deep inner peace. Through mindful speech, intentional action, and unwavering self-respect, we forge a path toward a more meaningful existence, inspiring others to follow in our footsteps. Living a life guided by Stoic principles begins with recognizing the immense value of self-awareness. This awareness is not just about knowing your strengths or weaknesses. It's about understanding the very core of who you are and what drives your actions. Too often, we let external circumstances dictate our responses, forgetting that true power lies in mastering our own minds. Seneca reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This mastery is not an unattainable ideal. It's a daily practice of observing our thoughts, questioning our impulses, and acting in alignment with our highest values. The path to self-mastery starts with cultivating mindfulness. When faced with challenges or adversity, pause before reacting. This moment of reflection is a Stoic's greatest ally. Instead of letting emotions take control, we can examine them with curiosity. Why am I feeling this way? Is my reaction proportional to the situation? What outcome do I truly desire? These questions help us respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, allowing us to maintain our inner equilibrium even in the face of chaos. Stoicism also teaches us to embrace discomfort and hardship as opportunities for growth. Life is filled with inevitable challenges, loss, failure, disappointment. But how we choose to perceive these moments defines us. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight invites us to view obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones to personal transformation. Every hardship carries within it a lesson, a chance to develop resilience, courage, and wisdom. Another essential aspect of the Stoic mindset is the practice of gratitude. While it's easy to focus on what we lack or what has gone wrong, the Stoic approach encourages us to shift our perspective. Gratitude is not about ignoring difficulties, but about acknowledging the good that exists alongside them. Reflect on the relationships, experiences, and opportunities that enrich your life. Appreciate the beauty in simple moments, a sunrise, a kind gesture, a quiet evening. Gratitude transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, grounding us in the present and reminding us of the abundance we often overlook. In our pursuit of a meaningful life, Stoicism also urges us to align our actions with our values. This alignment requires clarity about what truly matters. Is your life guided by fleeting desires, or are you anchored by principles that withstand the test of time? Epicurus emphasized the importance of living in harmony with your nature, which means prioritizing what brings genuine fulfillment over superficial pleasures. This clarity allows you to make decisions with confidence, knowing they reflect your authentic self. Part of living authentically involves setting boundaries, not just with others, but also with yourself. It's easy to get swept up in the demands and distractions of modern life, but Stoicism reminds us to guard our time and energy as precious resources. Seneca's wisdom on the brevity of life is particularly relevant. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Evaluate how you spend your days. Are you investing your energy in pursuits that align with your values, or are you letting trivialities consume your time? Setting boundaries means saying no to what doesn't serve your growth, so you can say yes to what does. Equally important is cultivating relationships that uplift and inspire you. Stoicism teaches that while solitude is valuable for self-reflection, meaningful connections with others are essential for a balanced life. Surround yourself with people who share your values, who challenge you to grow, and who offer genuine support. Let go of relationships that drain you or pull you away from your path. The quality of your connections matters far more than the quantity. Finally, embrace the Stoic principle of accepting what you cannot control. Much of our suffering comes from resisting reality or trying to bend it to our will. The truth is, we cannot control other people's actions, the outcomes of our efforts, or the uncertainties of life. What we can control is our response. By focusing on what lies within our power, our thoughts, choices and actions, we free ourselves from unnecessary anguish and gain the peace that comes from acceptance. In choosing to live with intention, gratitude and self-awareness, you create a life that is not only resilient, but also profoundly rewarding. The Stoic path is not about perfection, it's about progress. Each day offers a new opportunity to practice these principles, to learn from your experiences, and to grow into the person you aspire to be. It's a journey of quiet strength, deep purpose, and unshakable inner peace. And in walking this path, you not only transform your own life, but also inspire others to do the same. As we move deeper into the philosophy of Stoicism, we find that one of its most profound lessons is the art of maintaining composure amidst life's inevitable uncertainties. The ability to remain calm and centered, regardless of external circumstances, is not about suppressing emotion, but about mastering it. This mastery begins with understanding the nature of control. Epictetus famously stated, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This simple yet powerful truth is a cornerstone of Stoic practice. Life will throw challenges our way, an unexpected loss, a failed plan, or the unpredictability of others' actions. These moments often test our patience and resolve. But the Stoic sees these events not as calamities, but as opportunities for growth. Each challenge is a chance to demonstrate courage, wisdom, and self-discipline. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoic asks, "What can I learn from this? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values?" Practicing this mindset requires daily effort. One way to cultivate it is through premeditatio malorum, or the practice of negative visualization. This exercise involves imagining potential obstacles or setbacks before they occur, not to dwell in fear, but to prepare the mind. By considering these possibilities, we can lessen their impact if they do arise and develop a deeper appreciation for the blessings we currently enjoy. Negative visualization helps us detach from the illusion of permanence and embrace the transient nature of life with grace and humility. Another key principle of Stoicism is the idea of amor fati, or the love of one's fate. This concept invites us to not only accept, but embrace everything that happens as necessary and meaningful. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." In other words, life's difficulties are not obstacles to our progress, but essential elements of it. By welcoming our experiences, both good and bad, with open arms, we transform resistance into resilience and find beauty even in adversity. Stoicism also teaches the importance of maintaining perspective. When faced with a troubling situation, take a step back and ask yourself, how significant is this in the grand scheme of things? Will it matter a week from now, a year, or a decade? By broadening our view, we can often see that many of our worries are fleeting and insignificant. This practice helps us avoid unnecessary stress and refocus our energy on what truly matters. One of the most liberating aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on letting go of the need for approval. In a world obsessed with validation, whether through social media likes, professional accolades, or personal praise, Stoicism reminds us that true contentment comes from within. Epictetus urged, "If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. Be satisfied if you fulfill your duty and leave the rest to others." This teaching encourages us to live authentically, guided by our values rather than the shifting opinions of others. Living authentically also means embracing vulnerability. a trait often misunderstood as weakness but recognized by Stoics as a sign of true strength. When we are honest about our fears, flaws, and uncertainties, we build deeper connections with others and foster mutual respect. Vulnerability is not about exposing ourselves recklessly. It's about acknowledging our humanity and creating space for genuine interaction. This openness requires courage, but it also offers immense rewards: trust, understanding, and the freedom to be our authentic selves. In cultivating relationships, Stoicism emphasizes the balance between connection and independence. While we should cherish and nurture meaningful bonds, we must also ensure that our happiness and self-worth are not entirely dependent on them. Seneca reminds us, "He who is brave is free." This freedom comes from knowing that while we value others, our inner peace remains within our control. It is a reminder to love deeply, but not cling desperately, to care without losing ourselves in the process. A significant part of Stoicism's power lies in its practicality. It is not a philosophy to be read and forgotten, but one to be lived and practiced daily. One simple yet transformative practice is journaling. At the end of each day, reflect on your thoughts and actions. Ask yourself, did I live in accordance with my values today? Where did I fall short, and how can I improve tomorrow? This habit fosters self-awareness and accountability, ensuring continuous growth on your Stoic journey. Incorporating these practices into your life doesn't mean you will never feel anger, fear, or sadness. Stoicism does not seek to eliminate emotion, but to guide it. Emotions are natural responses to life's events, but how we interpret and act on them is within our power. By cultivating mindfulness, perspective, and acceptance, we can navigate even the most turbulent emotions with grace and wisdom. The Stoic path is not easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. It offers a way to live with purpose, resilience, and tranquility, even in the face of life's uncertainties. It is a reminder that while we cannot control the waves, we can learn to sail with skill and courage. Through daily practice, we become stronger, more centered, and more aligned with our true selves. And in doing so, we not only transform our own lives, but also inspire others to find their strength and wisdom within. As you continue to delve into the teachings of Stoicism, one of its most transformative insights is the recognition that happiness and contentment come from aligning your actions with your values, not from external circumstances. This truth is both empowering and humbling because it shifts the source of fulfillment from the unpredictable outside world to the stability within yourself. Marcus Aurelius beautifully encapsulates this idea, writing, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle highlights the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. It's tempting to believe that we can influence outcomes, shape others' opinions, or avoid all forms of hardship, but the reality is that much of life is beyond our grasp. What we can control, however, is how we choose to respond to these events. This choice, our attitude, actions, and perspective, is where our true power lies. Take relationships, for example. It's natural to want harmony, love, and understanding in our interactions with others. Yet, no matter how much effort we put into a relationship, we cannot control how the other person feels or acts. Stoicism teaches us to focus on being the best version of ourselves within that relationship, to be kind, honest, and supportive, while letting go of the need for reciprocation or validation. This approach not only preserves our inner peace, but also fosters healthier, more genuine connections. Similarly, in the pursuit of success, many people tie their self-worth to external achievements, promotions, accolades, or financial milestones. Stoicism challenges this mindset by emphasizing that success is not defined by external measures, but by the integrity with which you pursue your goals. Did you act with diligence and honor? Did you stay true to your principles even when faced with temptation or adversity? If so, you have already succeeded, regardless of the outcome. Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This stoic detachment from outcomes is not about passivity or indifference. It's about finding freedom in acceptance. When you stop clinging to what you cannot control, you liberate yourself from unnecessary suffering. You learn to appreciate the process rather than obsess over the result. Whether it's a creative project, a career pursuit, or personal growth, the journey itself becomes a source of fulfillment. One of the most profound applications of this principle lies in how we handle failure. Failure is an inevitable part of life, but Stoicism reframes it as an opportunity for growth. Every setback is a lesson, every mistake a chance to improve. Instead of fearing failure or letting it define you, the Stoic perspective encourages you to see it as a stepping stone to resilience and wisdom. As Seneca wrote, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. This mindset also applies to how we view adversity. Life's challenges often feel like unwelcome disruptions, but they are, in fact, essential to our development. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Obstacles force us to adapt, innovate, and grow. They test our patience, courage, and determination, ultimately shaping us into stronger, more capable individuals. When faced with difficulty, ask yourself, how can I use this to become better? What qualities can I cultivate in response to this challenge? Gratitude plays a crucial role in navigating both success and adversity. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate a sense of abundance and contentment. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your struggles. It means acknowledging the good that coexists with them. Every day offers countless opportunities for gratitude: a supportive friend, a beautiful sunset, a moment of quiet reflection. By appreciating these gifts, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, transforming even mundane moments into sources of joy. Another central tenet of Stoicism is the concept of living in the present. The past is unchangeable, and the future is uncertain. All we truly have is this moment. Yet, how often do we let our minds wander to regrets about the past or worries about the future? Stoicism urges us to bring our focus back to the present, to engage fully with the here and now. This practice not only enhances our experience of life, but also reduces anxiety and regret. Living in the present also means acting with intention. Instead of drifting through your days on autopilot, take time to reflect on your choices and ensure they align with your values. Seneca advised, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." This perspective encourages you to approach each day with purpose, treating it as an opportunity to grow, contribute, and connect. As you embody these principles, you may notice a shift in how you relate to others. Instead of seeking validation or approval, you begin to value authenticity and mutual respect. Instead of competing with or envying others, you celebrate their successes while remaining focused on your own path. This shift creates a sense of inner stability and harmony, allowing you to navigate relationships and challenges with grace. Stoicism ultimately teaches us that a meaningful life is not about avoiding pain or chasing pleasure, but about cultivating wisdom, virtue, and resilience. It's about embracing the full spectrum of the human experience, knowing that every moment, whether joyful or painful, is an opportunity to grow. By aligning your thoughts, actions, and values, you create a life of purpose and peace, one that inspires and uplifts not only yourself, but everyone around you. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its simplicity and practicality, offering tools that allow us to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and grace. One such tool is the ability to detach from unhealthy attachments, a skill that transforms not only how we approach relationships, but also how we engage with material possessions, ambitions, and expectations. Epictetus wisely observed, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but the judgments that we hold about them." This insight highlights how much of our suffering stems not from external events, but from our internal reactions to them. Attachments often arise from a belief that we cannot be whole or happy without a particular person, possession, or outcome. This mindset creates dependency, making us vulnerable to fear and disappointment. Stoicism encourages us to examine these attachments critically and to release those that compromise our freedom or peace of mind. Detachment does not mean indifference or lack of care. Rather, it's about maintaining a healthy perspective and ensuring that our happiness is not tethered to anything outside our control. For instance, consider material possessions. In a world that often equates success with wealth and status, it's easy to fall into the trap of defining ourselves by what we own. But Stoicism reminds us that true value lies not in accumulation, but in contentment. Seneca advises, "Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool." By appreciating what we have and recognizing that material goods are fleeting, we can break free from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. This principle also applies to our goals and ambitions. While striving for success is commendable, it becomes problematic when our sense of worth is tied to specific outcomes. The Stoic approach is to focus on the process rather than the result. Are you putting in your best effort? Are you acting with integrity and purpose? If so, you've already succeeded, regardless of whether the external reward materializes. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also allows you to enjoy the journey, finding fulfillment in the act of striving itself. Detachment from expectations is particularly transformative in relationships. We often place undue pressure on others to meet our needs or conform to our ideals, leading to frustration and disappointment. Stoicism teaches us to love others as they are, not as we wish them to be. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This perspective fosters gratitude for the people in our lives and reminds us to cherish them without clinging or attempting to control them. This idea of unconditional love extends to how we treat ourselves. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-compassion and self-respect. We are all works in progress, and our flaws and failures are part of the human experience. Instead of berating ourselves for our shortcomings, we can choose to learn from them and strive to improve. By treating ourselves with kindness and patience, we create a foundation of inner strength that supports us through life's challenges. Another profound aspect of Stoic philosophy is the concept of memento mori, or the reminder of mortality. Far from being morbid, this practice encourages us to live fully and intentionally by recognizing the finite nature of our existence. When we acknowledge that our time is limited, we are inspired to focus on what truly matters, spending time with loved ones, pursuing meaningful work, and savoring the beauty of each moment. Memento mori serves as a wake-up call to live with urgency and purpose, reminding us that every day is a gift. The Stoic approach to mortality also fosters courage and resilience. Fear of death often holds us back, creating anxiety and limiting our ability to take risks or embrace change. By confronting this fear head-on, we free ourselves to live more boldly and authentically. As Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." By embracing the inevitability of death, we gain a deeper appreciation for life and a greater determination to make the most of it. One of the most practical ways to embody Stoic principles is through daily rituals. These small but powerful habits help anchor us in the present and reinforce our commitment to living with intention. Morning reflection, for example, sets the tone for the day by encouraging us to visualize how we want to act and what we want to achieve. Evening journaling allows us to review our actions, celebrate our successes, and identify areas for growth. These practices create a cycle of continuous improvement, ensuring that we remain aligned with our values and purpose. Equally important is the practice of mindfulness. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of the present moment, becoming preoccupied with past regrets or future worries. Stoicism encourages us to bring our focus back to the here and now, where life truly unfolds. By cultivating awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, we can fully engage with each moment, finding joy and meaning in even the simplest experiences. Living a Stoic life does not mean suppressing emotion or avoiding pain. It means approaching life's highs and lows with a sense of balance and perspective, knowing that both are temporary and essential to our growth. It means finding peace in the midst of chaos, strength in the face of adversity, and wisdom in every experience. It's a journey of self-discovery and self-mastery, one that leads to a life of profound fulfillment and unwavering resilience. By embracing these teachings, we not only transform our own lives, but also inspire those around us. Our actions become a testament to the power of inner peace and integrity, showing others what is possible when we live in alignment with our values. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a way of being, a path to a life of meaning, purpose, and unshakable serenity. And as we walk this path, we find that the challenges of life are not obstacles, but opportunities, not burdens, but blessings, guiding us ever closer to our highest selves. Stoicism reaches its fullest expression in the quiet strength it cultivates within us, the ability to face life's uncertainties, joys, and sorrows with a steady heart and an unwavering sense of purpose. This strength is not about suppressing emotion or detaching from the world, but about deeply engaging with life while maintaining clarity and self-control. It's about living intentionally, guided by the principles of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. One of the most profound aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on resilience. Resilience is not merely the ability to endure hardships, it's the art of thriving in their midst. The Stoic sees adversity not as an enemy, but as a teacher, shaping us into stronger, more capable individuals. Marcus Aurelius urged, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This realization helps us navigate life's storms with grace, transforming setbacks into stepping stones. Resilience begins with reframing how we perceive challenges. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" Every obstacle carries within it a lesson, whether it's patience, perseverance, or the courage to let go. By focusing on growth rather than resistance, we shift from a mindset of victimhood to one of empowerment. Another cornerstone of Stoicism is its commitment to justice, not just in how we treat others, but in how we relate to ourselves. Living justly means acting with integrity, fairness, and compassion, even when it's inconvenient or difficult. It's about standing firm in your values and making choices that align with your principles, regardless of external pressures. Justice is not about seeking perfection, but about striving to do the right thing in every situation, no matter how small. This commitment to justice extends to how we interact with others. Stoicism teaches us to approach relationships with empathy and understanding, recognizing that everyone is on their own journey. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This practice fosters humility and helps us build deeper, more authentic connections with those around us. At the same time, Stoicism reminds us of the importance of setting boundaries. While we should strive to be kind and understanding, we must also protect our energy and peace of mind. Saying no to toxic relationships, unreasonable demands, or harmful habits is an act of self-respect. By setting clear boundaries, we create space for growth, focus, and meaningful connections. Stoicism also invites us to reflect on the fleeting nature of time. Life is short, and our days are finite. Seneca observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." This reminder urges us to live with intention, making the most of each moment. Instead of being consumed by distractions or regrets, we can focus on what truly matters, building meaningful relationships, pursuing our passions, and contributing to the world in ways that align with our values. This awareness of time's brevity also encourages us to embrace forgiveness, both of ourselves and others. Holding on to anger or resentment is a waste of precious energy, one that only deepens our suffering. By forgiving, we release ourselves from the burden of negativity and create space for healing and renewal. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful behavior. It's about choosing peace over conflict and moving forward with clarity and strength. Another transformative aspect of Stoicism is its practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to discontent, shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have. Even in the midst of challenges, there is always something to be grateful for: a supportive friend, a moment of laughter, or simply the chance to start anew. By cultivating gratitude, we not only enhance our own happiness, but also spread positivity to those around us. Stoicism also teaches us to let go of the illusion of control. Much of our anxiety stems from trying to influence things that are beyond our power, whether it's other people's opinions, the outcome of events, or the passage of time. By recognizing what we can and cannot control, we free ourselves from unnecessary stress and focus our energy on what truly matters. This practice of acceptance is not about resignation, but about embracing life as it is, with all its unpredictability and beauty. Living a stoic life means embracing a mindset of service. It's about using your talents, resources, and time to contribute to the greater good. Whether it's through acts of kindness, mentorship, or simply being a source of encouragement, your actions ripple outward, creating a positive impact on the world. Service is not about grand gestures, but about consistent, meaningful contributions that align with your values and inspire others. Ultimately, Stoicism is a philosophy of empowerment. It reminds us that while we cannot control the world, we can control how we engage with it. By cultivating resilience, gratitude, and a sense of purpose, we create a life that is both deeply fulfilling and profoundly impactful. Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life, but it offers a roadmap for navigating life's challenges with wisdom, grace, and integrity. In walking this path, we discover that true strength lies not in avoiding pain or seeking perfection, but in embracing the fullness of the human experience. Each moment becomes an opportunity to grow, to connect, and to live in alignment with our highest selves. This journey is not just a personal transformation, it's a gift to the world, inspiring others to find their own strength and live with purpose and authenticity. Through Stoicism, we learn to face life with open hearts and steady minds, creating a legacy of courage, wisdom, and peace. Gossip, often seen as a harmless way to connect socially, can carry profound consequences that ripple through the ethical foundation of any group or community. It subtly corrodes trust and respect, undermining the delicate fabric that binds people together. Philosophies like Stoicism teach us the virtue of controlling our impulses, urging us to consider the broader impact of our words and actions. They push us to foster a moral environment where speaking ill of others has no place. When gossip is involved, truth often becomes a casualty. Facts get twisted, narratives get embellished, and reputations can be irreparably damaged. Worse, relationships, both personal and professional, can shatter under the weight of falsehoods. The Stoic way offers an antidote, building an atmosphere of mutual understanding and respect, where conversations are meaningful, honest, and geared toward uplifting one another. A Stoic mindset encourages us to engage in discussions that are truthful, helpful, and positive. This approach doesn't just protect our ethics, but also promotes the well-being of everyone involved. By consciously choosing our words and actions, we can help cultivate a community founded on trust and empathy. In a world overflowing with miscommunication and misinformation, these timeless principles of Stoicism resonate with increasing relevance. Now imagine carrying this philosophy into other areas of life, particularly in relationships. Picture a connection where mutual respect and shared values reign supreme. It's not enough to express love and care. Earning someone's respect and admiration often requires patience and a solid philosophical foundation. Ancient Stoicism, though born centuries ago, offers guidance to navigate modern relationships with grace and authenticity. For instance, refraining from constantly seeking someone's attention can create a sense of intrigue and admiration. Constant communication might seem like a gesture of affection, but it can erode the sense of independence and self-sufficiency that Stoics hold dear. Imagine stepping back, not to play games, but to let your life flourish independently. When someone sees that you're not just waiting for their call or text, but are deeply immersed in your own vibrant world, their interest peaks. They begin to wonder about the person you are, beyond the interactions they share with you. A thoughtful shift in behavior might mean cutting back on morning messages and instead sharing snippets of exciting adventures or achievements. This subtle change can signal that you're someone with a life worth paying attention to, someone who values themselves enough to cultivate independence. Such actions embody the Stoic ideal of inner resilience and create a dynamic that fosters respect and curiosity. Engaging with someone authentically, without letting their actions entirely dictate your emotions, showcases an inner strength that's incredibly appealing. When you remain composed and consistent, it communicates that your sense of happiness and stability doesn't hinge on external factors. This approach aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings, emphasizing self-control and the power of remaining grounded amidst life's fluctuations. Stoicism also teaches us to live lives that inspire others to join in, not out of envy, but out of admiration. A life filled with purpose, growth, and genuine joy is naturally magnetic. Sharing glimpses of this life, whether it's a breathtaking hike or a cozy evening filled with a favorite book, subtly shows that you're thriving. It's about painting a picture of fulfillment, one that invites others to want to be part of the story you're writing. However, this doesn't mean putting up walls or becoming aloof. On the contrary, it's about knowing when and how to share, creating moments that are both memorable and meaningful. Sharing knowledge or introducing someone to a new experience becomes a way to connect on a deeper level. For instance, teaching a partner about something you're passionate about, whether it's astronomy, music, or a unique hobby, can leave a lasting impression. These shared moments of learning and discovery strengthen the bond and make your time together unforgettable. And what happens when silence enters the equation? Stoicism teaches us the virtue of patience and the strength found in stillness. Imagine receiving a message from someone after a long gap. Instead of replying with eager energy, respond thoughtfully and calmly, signaling your composed state of mind. This restraint doesn't convey disinterest, but rather shows balance, a trait deeply rooted in Stoic thought. It communicates that while you value their attention, your peace and happiness aren't tethered to it. Conversations, too, can benefit from Stoic moderation. Rather than overwhelming someone with every detail of your day, focus on sharing just enough to keep the interaction engaging. A sense of mystery adds depth and intrigue, compelling them to want to know more. The balance of openness and reserve not only keeps the dialogue alive, but also reflects the Stoic principle of measured self-expression. Surprises also play a pivotal role in keeping relationships vibrant. Thoughtful gestures, tailored to someone's unique interests, carry immense power. Whether it's an unexpected trip to a favorite spot or a small, meaningful gift, these acts demonstrate attentiveness and care. They are not about grandeur, but about the thoughtfulness behind the action, which Stoicism values highly. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the idea of building genuine, lasting connections. It's about showing up authentically, with a spirit of humility and a willingness to listen. By engaging in meaningful dialogues and showing a genuine interest in others' stories, you establish yourself as someone who values respect and mutual understanding. This approach fosters trust, deepens bonds, and makes your presence in someone's life something they cherish. In relationships, as in life, Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our words, and our attitude. It's about living with intention, being thoughtful in our interactions, and creating a space where mutual respect and admiration can flourish. By embodying these principles, we don't just improve our relationships, we enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. Imagine a connection so profound that it leaves an indelible mark on someone's life. The kind of bond that isn't tethered to grand gestures or fleeting moments of infatuation, but is rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and admiration. This level of connection requires more than fleeting charm. It demands depth, patience, and a philosophy that guides your actions. Stoicism, an ancient yet remarkably relevant philosophy, provides a blueprint for cultivating relationships that transcend the superficial. Let's delve deeper into the subtleties of attraction and how adopting a Stoic mindset can transform the way someone sees you. Imagine the power of being composed and self-reliant, a person who doesn't constantly seek approval or validation. This doesn't mean closing yourself off emotionally, but rather demonstrating that your sense of self-worth is firmly rooted within. Such composure exudes confidence, drawing others toward you not because you demand their attention, but because your presence naturally commands it. Consider this scenario. You notice someone posting cryptic messages or intriguing photos on social media, clearly meant to catch your attention. It's tempting to respond, to engage in the unspoken game, but Stoicism teaches us a different path. The wisdom lies in choosing not to react impulsively. By refraining from predictable responses, you create an air of mystery and independence. This lack of reaction is not indifference. It's a display of self-control, a hallmark of the Stoic way. Imagine her checking her phone, expecting your usual comment or like, only to be met with silence. Suddenly the dynamics shift. Instead of chasing validation, you become a person of intrigue. She wonders why you haven't responded, what occupies your time, and what lies behind your calm exterior. This isn't about playing games, it's about embodying a sense of purpose and self-assuredness. By remaining steadfast and measured, you send a powerful message. Your attention is meaningful because it's not given frivolously. Equally compelling is the art of revealing your world selectively. Instead of laying all your cards on the table, you unveil aspects of your personality and life gradually. This deliberate unfolding keeps the interaction fresh and engaging. Each shared detail becomes a discovery, a piece of a larger puzzle that she's eager to solve. For instance, you might casually mention an interest or a unique experience without diving into specifics, leaving her curious and intrigued. Over time, as she learns more about you, her appreciation for your complexity grows. Stoicism also champions the practice of living a life that others aspire to be part of. This isn't about flaunting material wealth or accomplishments, but about embodying a spirit of fulfillment and joy. Imagine sharing moments of genuine happiness, photos of a serene hike, a candid laugh with friends, or a snapshot of a new skill you're mastering. These glimpses into your life convey a silent yet powerful message. You are content, thriving, and deeply engaged with the world around you. Such a life naturally draws people closer. They're not just attracted to your achievements, but to the aura of positivity and purpose you emanate. This doesn't mean your life is without challenges. Rather, it's about how you approach those challenges with grace and resilience. When someone sees that you face adversity with the composure of a stoic, they're inspired by your strength and drawn to the stability you represent. Yet, even amidst this strength, the importance of vulnerability cannot be overstated. Stoicism doesn't advocate emotional detachment, but instead encourages a balanced expression of emotions. Sharing your struggles thoughtfully, without dramatization or self-pity, can forge a deeper connection. It shows that you're human, relatable and courageous enough to confront life's uncertainties. This balance between strength and vulnerability creates a dynamic where she not only admires you, but also feels safe opening up about her own challenges. Another profound lesson from Stoicism is the virtue of patience. Imagine she hasn't responded to a text or call. Instead of succumbing to frustration or anxiety, you accept the situation for what it is, focusing on what you can control, your own state of mind. By doing so, you demonstrate emotional maturity, a quality that's both rare and deeply attractive. It communicates that your world doesn't revolve around immediate gratification, but is built on a foundation of trust and understanding. When the conversation resumes, your responses reflect this maturity. They're calm, measured and thoughtful, showing that you value quality over quantity in your interactions. This approach not only strengthens the bond, but also sets a tone of mutual respect. She begins to associate your presence with a sense of peace and depth, qualities that linger in her mind long after the conversation ends. In every interaction, Stoicism teaches us to be present and intentional. Instead of rushing through moments, you savor them, creating memories that leave a lasting impression. Whether it's a heartfelt conversation, a shared laugh, or a moment of quiet companionship, your presence becomes a source of comfort and inspiration. These moments, though seemingly small, weave the fabric of a connection that stands the test of time. Imagine planning a thoughtful surprise, perhaps a spontaneous road trip to a place she's always wanted to visit, or a simple but meaningful gift that shows you've been listening closely to her words. These gestures, rooted in genuine care, become milestones in your relationship. They're not about extravagance, but about the thoughtfulness behind them. Each surprise becomes a reminder of your attentiveness, deepening her appreciation for the bond you share. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to relationships is about balance. It's about being present without being overbearing, strong yet vulnerable, independent yet deeply connected. It's about creating a space where mutual respect and admiration can flourish, where both individuals feel seen, valued, and inspired. By embodying these principles, you don't just build a connection, you create a legacy of moments and memories that resonate deeply. In her eyes, you're not just someone she knows, you're someone she admires, respects, and cherishes. The thought of you lingers, not because you tried to make her miss you, but because your presence is unforgettable. Think about the magnetic pull of someone who is entirely at peace with themselves, someone whose energy is calm yet captivating, a quiet strength that draws you in. This isn't the result of charm or superficial appeal, but rather a deep-seated confidence and authenticity. Stoicism teaches us that by embodying this composure, we naturally invite others to value our presence. The essence of attraction lies not in trying to impress, but in being so grounded in who you are that others can't help but be intrigued. One of the ways to cultivate this aura is by mastering the art of silence and restraint. Imagine you've had a disagreement or a moment of tension with someone close to you. The impulse might be to over-explain, defend yourself, or seek immediate resolution. But the Stoic approach encourages pausing, reflecting, and letting time do its work. By responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively, you showcase emotional intelligence and maturity. This calmness often diffuses tension and creates space for more meaningful dialogue. In relationships, silence can also be powerful in creating a sense of mystery and depth. When you don't rush to fill every moment with words or explanations, it leaves room for curiosity. People naturally want to understand what lies beneath your calm exterior, what thoughts occupy your mind, and what experiences shape your perspective. This deliberate withholding isn't about manipulation, but about valuing your own complexity and allowing others to uncover it gradually. Similarly, in moments of connection, less can often mean more. Consider a conversation where instead of dominating the dialogue, you listen deeply, offering thoughtful responses that show you truly understand. Active listening, a principle deeply aligned with Stoic values, can transform the way someone perceives you. When someone feels heard, not just listened to but genuinely understood, it creates an emotional resonance that lingers long after the conversation ends. Picture a moment when she shares a personal story or a dream she holds close. Instead of rushing to offer solutions or opinions, you simply acknowledge and validate her feelings. This quiet empathy speaks volumes, demonstrating that you respect her thoughts and emotions. Over time, these moments of thoughtful engagement build a foundation of trust and admiration. Stoicism also teaches us the value of leading by example, especially when it comes to living a fulfilling life. Imagine someone observing your dedication to personal growth, your commitment to learning, your passion for a hobby, or your focus on self-improvement. These actions, far more than words, reveal the kind of person you are. They inspire others to reflect on their own lives and aspire to be part of your journey. For instance, if she sees you tackling challenges with determination or pursuing your passions wholeheartedly, it leaves an impression. It's not about being perfect, but about showing resilience and a willingness to grow. This quiet strength, rooted in Stoic ideals, becomes a beacon that draws her closer, making her want to understand and share in the world you're building. Even in social settings, the way you carry yourself can set you apart. While others might seek attention or validation, your confidence lies in your ability to remain composed and true to your principles. People notice this quiet assurance. It's a rare quality in a world where many are quick to seek approval. Your presence becomes a grounding force, someone others look to for stability and wisdom. But what happens when life throws unexpected challenges your way? Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. Imagine facing a setback, perhaps a career hurdle, a personal loss, or a moment of failure. Instead of letting it consume you, you accept it with grace, acknowledging the lessons it holds. This resilience isn't just inspiring, it's magnetic. When someone sees you navigating difficulties with such poise, they're drawn to the strength you embody. These principles also extend to how you interact with her dreams and aspirations. Supporting her ambitions without overshadowing them shows that you value her individuality. Stoicism teaches us that love is not about possession, but about mutual growth. By encouraging her to pursue her goals while remaining steadfast in your own, you create a relationship dynamic that's both empowering and enduring. Imagine she mentions a skill she's always wanted to learn or a place she's longed to visit. Instead of simply agreeing, you take initiative, perhaps gifting her a book on the topic or planning a trip to the place she's dreamed of. These actions don't just show thoughtfulness, they reveal your willingness to invest in her growth and happiness. Over time, these gestures create memories that deepen the bond you share. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of maintaining boundaries, even in the closest relationships. This isn't about keeping people at arm's length, but about protecting your sense of self. Imagine she tests your patience or challenges your views in a way that feels unkind or dismissive. Instead of reacting defensively, you calmly assert your perspective, showing that you value respect and mutual understanding. This ability to set boundaries doesn't push people away, it draws them closer. It communicates that you're someone who values integrity and won't compromise your principles for the sake of approval. Over time, this earns not just respect, but admiration, as people see the strength it takes to stand firm in your values. In quieter moments, your presence alone can speak volumes. Imagine sitting together in comfortable silence, where words aren't necessary to convey connection. These pauses, far from awkward, become a space where understanding deepens without the need for constant dialogue. They're a reminder that sometimes the strongest bonds are formed in the unspoken. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches us to live with intention and to approach relationships as opportunities for growth and connection. By embodying these principles, you don't just become someone worth missing. You become someone who inspires, uplifts, and leaves an indelible mark on the lives of those around you. Imagine a relationship that thrives on balance, where each interaction feels natural and effortless, and the bond grows stronger with time. This kind of connection doesn't happen by accident. It's cultivated with thoughtfulness, care, and a steady commitment to shared growth. Stoicism, with its timeless wisdom, offers a roadmap to building these relationships, where mutual respect and admiration are at the core. One of the most powerful lessons from Stoicism is the importance of focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. This simple yet profound principle can transform how you handle challenges in relationships. Imagine a scenario where she's upset or distant. Instead of overthinking or trying to force a resolution, you focus on your own actions and demeanor. You approach her with patience and understanding, ready to listen without judgment or pressure. This kind of presence, calm and reassuring, shows that you respect her space and trust her to come to you when she's ready. By not reacting impulsively or trying to fix everything immediately, you communicate a sense of maturity and confidence. She begins to see you as a steady presence in her life, someone who isn't rattled by temporary storms. Over time, this earns you her trust and deepens the emotional connection between you. But balance isn't just about handling challenges, it's also about knowing when to step forward and when to step back. Stoicism teaches us the value of moderation, never overwhelming someone with constant attention, yet never being so detached that they feel unimportant. Picture this. Instead of texting her throughout the day, You send a thoughtful message in the evening that recaps something meaningful or funny from your day. This kind of communication feels intentional and special, making her look forward to hearing from you. Even in the way you plan time together, balance plays a role. Imagine you've been spending a lot of time together recently. Instead of continuing at the same pace, you suggest taking a day for individual interests or hobbies. By doing so, you give each other the chance to recharge and bring fresh energy into your interactions. This aligns with the Stoic principle of self-sufficiency, reminding both of you that your happiness doesn't rely solely on the other person, but is enriched by your own pursuits. Speaking of pursuits, one of the most attractive traits you can cultivate is a sense of purpose. Stoicism emphasizes living a life of meaning and intention, setting goals and striving to achieve them, not for external validation, but for personal growth. Imagine her seeing you work passionately on a project, dedicating time and effort to something that truly matters to you. This kind of drive is not only inspiring, but also magnetic. She begins to admire your commitment and, in turn, feels inspired to pursue her own dreams with the same vigor. However, purpose isn't just about big, ambitious goals. It can also be seen in the small, consistent ways you show up in life. Imagine being the person who keeps their word, who follows through on promises, no matter how small. Perhaps you told her you'd help her with a task or share a favorite book. Following through on these commitments shows that you value her time and trust, reinforcing the bond between you. Over time, these small acts of reliability build a foundation of respect that becomes unshakable. Another Stoic lesson that deeply resonates in relationships is the art of acceptance. People are complex, with their own quirks, flaws, and past experiences. Instead of trying to change someone or fix their perceived imperfections, Stoicism teaches us to embrace them as they are. Imagine being the person who doesn't criticize or judge, but instead supports her journey of growth at her own pace. This acceptance creates a safe space, where she feels valued for who she truly is. This doesn't mean tolerating behavior that crosses your boundaries. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of self-respect and integrity. Imagine calmly and respectfully addressing issues when they arise, expressing your feelings without blame or anger. This approach not only strengthens the relationship, but also shows that you value honesty and open communication. Over time, this mutual respect creates a bond that can weather any storm. The idea of mutual respect extends to how you celebrate each other's achievements. Imagine she's reached a personal milestone, perhaps a promotion or mastering a new skill. Instead of simply congratulating her, you genuinely engage, asking thoughtful questions about her experience and how she feels about the accomplishment. This kind of interest shows that you're invested in her happiness and growth, making her feel seen and appreciated. Stoicism also teaches the importance of perspective, reminding us to see the bigger picture rather than getting caught up in minor setbacks or disagreements. Imagine she makes a mistake or forgets something important. Instead of reacting with frustration, you approach the situation with understanding, recognizing that everyone has their off days. This kind of compassion not only diffuses tension, but also deepens the trust between you. In quieter moments, the principles of Stoicism shine even brighter. Imagine sitting together, sharing a simple meal, or watching the sunset. There's no need for grand gestures or elaborate plans, just the quiet joy of being in each other's company. These moments of stillness and presence create memories that linger, a testament to the beauty of simply existing together. Ultimately, a relationship rooted in Stoic principles becomes a partnership where both individuals feel valued, respected, and inspired. It's a dynamic that thrives on balance, where independence enhances connection and purpose fuels admiration. By embodying these values, you create a bond that isn't just strong, but profoundly fulfilling, leaving a lasting impression that neither of you will ever forget. Now picture a relationship where every interaction feels purposeful, where the bond grows not because of fleeting emotions, but because of the depth of understanding shared between two people. This kind of connection isn't built on surface-level gestures or grand declarations. It's forged through consistent actions, quiet strength, and an unwavering commitment to each other's growth. Stoicism offers a timeless guide for nurturing such a relationship, one where mutual respect and admiration become the foundation. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is resilience, the ability to face challenges with grace and composure. Relationships, no matter how strong, are bound to encounter difficulties. Imagine a moment when tension arises, perhaps from a misunderstanding or a disagreement. Instead of reacting defensively or letting emotions take over, you pause, consider the situation, and respond thoughtfully. This measured approach doesn't just resolve conflicts, it sets a tone of respect and understanding that strengthens the bond between you. This kind of resilience also shines in moments of uncertainty. Picture a time when she's facing a personal struggle, perhaps a career setback or a difficult decision. Rather than rushing to provide solutions, you offer your presence and support, allowing her the space to process her feelings. This quiet strength demonstrates that you're not just there for the good times, but also for the moments when life feels overwhelming. It's a subtle yet powerful way of showing that your connection is built on a foundation of trust and empathy. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of gratitude, appreciating what you have and finding joy in the present moment. In relationships, this means valuing the little things that often go unnoticed. Imagine taking a moment to express appreciation for something she does, a thoughtful gesture, a kind word, or simply the way she listens when you need it most. These small acts of gratitude create a ripple effect, deepening the emotional connection and fostering a sense of mutual respect. At the same time, Stoicism teaches us to embrace impermanence, to understand that everything in life is fleeting. This perspective encourages you to cherish the moments you share, knowing they are precious and unique. Instead of taking her presence for granted, you approach each interaction with intention and care. Imagine the impact of consistently showing up in her life as someone who values her time, energy, and feelings. This attentiveness doesn't just make her feel appreciated, it makes your bond irreplaceable. Another profound lesson from Stoicism is the power of leading by example. Imagine being someone who inspires her not through words, but through actions. Perhaps she sees you dedicating time to your passions, navigating challenges with determination, or treating others with kindness and respect. These qualities naturally draw her closer, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you embody the values she admires. Consider the way you handle your own growth and development. Stoicism teaches us to focus on becoming the best version of ourselves, not for external validation, but for the sake of living a meaningful life. When she sees you investing in your own growth, whether it's learning a new skill, pursuing a passion, or overcoming a personal challenge, it inspires her to do the same. This shared commitment to self-improvement creates a dynamic where you both uplift and support each other's journeys. At the heart of Stoicism is the principle of self-control, the ability to remain calm and composed, even in the face of provocation. Imagine a situation where she's upset or frustrated, perhaps even directing that frustration toward you. Instead of reacting defensively, you remain calm, listening without judgment and responding with kindness. This kind of emotional stability isn't just reassuring, it's deeply attractive. It shows her that you're someone she can rely on, no matter what challenges arise. Stoicism also teaches us the value of boundaries, not as barriers, but as guidelines that protect the integrity of relationships. Imagine a scenario where someone's behavior crosses a line, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Instead of avoiding the issue or reacting harshly, you address it calmly and respectfully, expressing your feelings in a way that fosters understanding. This approach doesn't just resolve the immediate issue, it sets a standard of mutual respect that strengthens the bond over time. In relationships, boundaries also mean knowing when to prioritize your own well-being. Imagine taking time for yourself, whether it's pursuing a hobby, spending time with friends, or simply enjoying solitude. This balance of togetherness and independence is essential, not only for maintaining a healthy relationship, but also for showing her that you value yourself. When you take care of your own needs, you're better equipped to show up fully and authentically in the relationship. One of the most beautiful aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on living a life of purpose. This doesn't mean chasing grand ambitions or constantly striving for achievement. It means aligning your actions with your values and finding meaning in the everyday. In relationships, this translates to being intentional with your time and energy. Imagine planning a simple but meaningful date, like cooking a meal together or exploring a new part of town. These moments, grounded in genuine connection, create lasting memories that deepen your bond. Finally, Stoicism reminds us to approach relationships with humility and openness. No matter how strong the connection, there's always room for growth and learning. Imagine being willing to admit when you're wrong, to listen when she shares her perspective, and to grow from the experiences you share. This humility fosters a sense of equality and partnership, where both of you feel valued and heard. Over time, these principles weave together to create a relationship that's not just strong, but profoundly fulfilling. It's a bond that thrives on trust, respect, and shared growth, a connection where both of you feel inspired to be your best selves. By embodying the teachings of Stoicism, you don't just become someone she misses when you're apart. You become someone she values deeply, someone whose presence enriches her life in ways she never expected.